Talking about Modi and reform and politics. Now, Modi says he wants to reform government. He wants to downsize government. Do you think that's a possible reality? Do you think that can be done in a coalition era? Can you actually downsize government? Can you actually streamline government? Can you actually do away with things like the Planning Commission?
Why not make it the Reforms Commission? Completely change its task. In many things, when you can't do something, for instance, these Narega and reservations, I am dead against reservations. Narega, I feel it's a wasteful expenditure. Food subsidy, I think, will be, will have fiscal consequences and so on. But Modi's approach would be quite different. He's a practical politician. He would say, what is the next generation Narega? What is the next generation public distribution system? Let's improve it. You say capital assets are not being created. Let's see what kinds of capital assets can be created by labor-intensive methods. That would be his reform. So with the same system, deliver more. But there is no doubt, streamlining doesn't just mean keep cutting jobs that are in the government service. Make them do something better.
And what about the Planning Commission? You said that very interesting phrase, make it the Reforms Commission.
Yes, because I wrote an essay about 15 years ago when I was asked to review the Planning Commission. The people there said, "Arey sir, it is a parking lot." They said, "Sir, ये गौशाला नहीं है, ये पिंजरा पोल है. It is a place for derelict cows, not for productive cows."
What do you make of the Arvind Kejriwal phenomenon?
I think he has, they have shown courage that I do not have, of setting up a political party, of going for an electoral battle so soon. Second, they have, it's a stunning performance. But I am completely against their agenda of these, what you were saying, freebies business.
Populism.
But it is a very important lesson for the main parties, and that is you must field better candidates. Because till yesterday, X or Y may have been looked upon as an agent of change. Maybe Manmohan Singh 10 years ago, maybe Modi 6 months ago. But in Delhi, suddenly there was a change, and Kejriwal and his unknown group were looked upon as the instruments of change. So to capture the flag of change, the key is not a better manifesto, but better persons.
Do you believe that on a national level, the Aam Aadmi Party can challenge the BJP and the Congress?
No, actually, the first thing is that their good impact will be that they will force the political parties to field better candidates. But their bad impact would be that they would probably take 20-30 seats in urban areas and thereby make for an even more fractured parliament.
How do you see Rahul Gandhi shaping up at the moment? Do you believe that he really is in a position to provide an alternative form of leadership to the Congress? Because there have been historians, for example, Perry Anderson, the Marxist historian, has said that the Congress should simply wither away at the moment because of this dynastic principle, that it shouldn't exist anymore. Do you see Rahul Gandhi successfully democratizing the Congress?
But there is no evidence of that. I don't want to speak ill of him at all. But he is untried. You are going to deal with China through Rahul Gandhi. You are going to deal with terrorism, with the withdrawal of Americans from Afghanistan and its likely geopolitical consequences through Rahul Gandhi. So we must see, it's not just a matter of goodwill, you are not selecting a son-in-law, you are selecting the ruler of 1.2 billion people, a person who has shown no knowledge of anything as yet at all, who has not had any experience and demonstrated any worth in any, let's say, an executive position. Maybe he's very good, maybe he's not good. What's his age now?
He's 43.
Well, you should have heard
43, we were all holding responsible positions. But do you believe that he's infused some energy, the way he said this ordinance is nonsense when he came out in public and denounced that ordinance which was protecting tainted MPs, the Adarsh report, which he has said the government should accept?
These are the examples that show up that he's just doing a drama. I'm so sorry to say. You mean he was sleeping all the while and the ordinance issue was on, and then suddenly he woke up? After all, there had been a Supreme Court judgment. After all, the ordinance had been discussed in an all-party forum. After all, there was the parliament. You mean to say the government was drafting an ordinance and he did not know? Just one second. And then suddenly, because there is a public outrage and the political class is so illegitimate, he tries to jump on the other side. In the same way, Adarsh report, till the report is rejected and the outrage is there, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is asleep or busy elsewhere. And it shows how the system has been hollowed. That one word of nonsense from him and one word that he says that something should be reviewed, and the Congress does a
Bends over
somersault.
backwards trying to please him. What should he do?
No, supposing you were Chinese, you were a strategist in China, what would you be thinking of the Indian system today, which somersaults like this? Because one man says, oh, nonsense, oh, review. You think they will not conclude that these people have no legs now?
What to you is the big political idea of 2014? What do you think this year is going to be about in the sphere of politics?
The big feature is going to be India's vulnerability. Because of external circumstances, Americans withdrawing from Afghanistan, the US being tapered off, and so on, and the internal situation in the economy. But the main feature, I would hope, that we would look back and say that better people were brought into politics by the force of circumstances, and that the political parties which are today too weak to deal with existing candidates at last picked up courage out of desperation and brought in better people into public life. I hope we will be able to look back and say that.
Just as a last question, are you going to put an end to your retirement from politics, and is Arun Souri going to become a minister in a Modi-led government?
No. Please ask Mr. Modi that, or ask Sagarika if is she distributing portfolios?
Is there any possibility of that you will return to government, you will return to being a minister?
I would not know that at all. I just continue to do my own work.
Right. Arun Souri, thank you so much for joining us on Ideas 2014.
Thank you.
It makes it really drool.